Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Hakika Zarningwala and as a part of Rehan AI teacher training course, I'm back with another chatgpt discussion session. And today the topic of our discussion is the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork. So let's dive in. Hello ChatGPT.
Hi there. Walaikum assalam. Glad to be here. Go ahead with your first question whenever you're ready.
ChatGPT, I would like to start with the question is what does empathy really mean in leadership and how is it different from simply being kind?
Check in. Empathy in leadership is the ability to genuinely understand another person's perspective, then use that understanding to guide fair, effective decisions. It's not just being nice. Kindness might show up as encouragement, but empathy digs deeper, asking why someone struggles and seeking real solutions while still holding people accountable and being honest.
I understood about empathy. Why empathy is considered so important quality for an effective leader?
Because it builds trust, strengthens collaboration, and helps leaders understand what actually motivates and challenges their people. That trust keeps teams engaged, even during change or crisis. In short, empathy helps leaders motivate without lowering standards, balancing support with accountability.
Another aspect for a leader is how can he understand the emotion and perspective of team members without becoming biased.
Checking. A good way is to practice active listening without rushing to judgment. Ask open questions, reflect back what they hear, and check assumptions against facts. Then listen to multiple voices, separate understanding from agreeing, and keep clear standards so decisions stay fair.
Please also elaborate the influence of empathy on trust and communication within a team.
Looking. When leaders show real empathy, it creates psychological safety so people speak up without fear. That builds trust, boosts honest feedback, and makes collaboration smoother, especially during change or conflict.
What about difficult or unpopular decision making while still demonstrating empathy as a leader?
Hmm. That's one of the hardest parts of leadership. You make the tough call, but communicate it transparently. Acknowledge the emotions involved and show people you understand the impact, even if the decision stands. Balance compassion with accountability so even unpopular choices are handled with respect and clarity.
What about the other side of the coin? If the team members feel like the leader does not understand or value their concerns?
Checking. If team members feel unheard, trust and communication can break down and motivation often dips. The fix starts with sincere active listening, asking for feedback, and showing how concerns were considered even when the final decision can't change. Leaders should also seek regular feedback on their leadership to adjust and rebuild credibility.
Also, focusing on the concept of empathy, can empathy really resolve conflicts between team members?
Check-in. Yes, empathy can resolve conflicts. It helps uncover perspectives and guide conversations toward common ground, but it must be paired with fairness and accountability. You listen, surface underlying issues, and steer the team toward a workable solution without ignoring unprofessional behavior.
Another aspect that I want to ask is whether a leader demonstrating empathy can motivate a struggling employee with even if he is struggling with something personal or at work.
Looking. Yes, absolutely. Start with a private, respectful conversation to understand what's going on instead of assuming. Then offer support that fits, like flexible priorities, training, or regular check ins. Motivation comes from feeling valued. Pair that with clear goals and fair expectations so they can regain confidence and contribute again.
It is often said that too much of anything is bad. So, is too much of empathy also bad for leadership, and where the leader should draw a line?
Checking. That's a good question. Too much empathy without balance and firm judgment can backfire. For example, avoiding tough conversations or giving unfair exceptions can damage trust. The line is holding clear standards and accountability while showing care. Empathy should guide understanding, not replace fairness or tough decisions. Ask, is this fair, aligned with goals, and growth oriented? That keeps empathy strong instead of weak.
What do you suggest for a leader that finds it difficult to understand other people's emotion? How should he undertake the development of empathy?
Checking. Start with practice, not personality. Listen more, ask open questions, and practice seeing situations from their point of view. Seek feedback often, observe nonverbal cues, and consider coaching or reading on emotional intelligence. Small, consistent habits build the skill over time.
In today's digital age, we have a very diverse workplace. How can empathy help leaders appreciate different backgrounds, personalities, different ethnicities, and different perspectives?
Checking. Empathy helps leaders actively listen, suspend snap judgments, and ask curious questions about how different backgrounds shape viewpoints. That builds respect and psychological safety, so people share ideas without fear, strengthening collaboration across cultures. It also reduces bias by focusing on listening, not assuming, and valuing each person's contribution. In short, curiosity plus empathy makes diversity a strength, not a hurdle.
You mentioned about listening. How much does active listening contribute towards demonstration of empathy in leadership?
Checking. Active listening is one of the strongest expressions of empathy. It makes people feel heard and respected, reduces misunderstandings, and builds trust by clarifying assumptions. It turns empathy from intention into action, improving communication, decision making, and team morale.
What role does empathy play in preventing workplace related stress or burnout or disengagement?
Checking. Empathy helps spot stress early by noticing changes and encouraging honest conversations before problems escalate. It prompts leaders to check in, ask what support is needed, and collaborate on workload or flexible solutions, reducing burnout risk. Plus, it fosters a culture where taking breaks and giving feedback are normal, not stigmatized. Empathy isn't everything, but it acts like an early warning system that keeps teams healthier and more productive long term.
In the modern world, as companies are becoming more and more AI driven or digitized, do you think that human empathy has lost its charm, or is it still even important today?
Checking. It's more important than ever. AI can process data, but can't replace human trust, values, or compassion. Leaders use empathy to guide people through change, build trust, and inspire teams. In an AI driven world, empathy becomes a key differentiator, not an obsolete one.
Lastly, I would like to ask what practical habits can leaders adopt every day to create a more empathetic, supportive, and high performing team?
Checking. Daily habits include doing active listening, consistent one on ones, showing genuine appreciation, encouraging open communication, being fair and curious, and leading by example. with empathy and integrity.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for today's session.
You're welcome.
Viewers, that was all from me on today's session. I will be back with another session. Until then, signing off. Allah Hafiz.